Damon Bruce here, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It'll be the Phoenix Suns facing off against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now let's head out to the arena and hook up with Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back at halftime.
It's the NBA Live on 2K Sports on this Tuesday afternoon. Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will join us moments from now. Here's the starting five. State Farm presents our lineup for the tip-off. First for the Suns, Nash runs the point with Dudley at the 2. And they've got Marcin Gortat out there, the big man at the center. They look to him to provide that necessary presence down low. That's Hill, and it's Fry in at the 4 slot. And looking at the Timberwolves, Luke Ridnow and Wesley Johnson in the backcourt. And it's Darko Milicic locking down the middle. They utilize his abilities to maintain that presence under the rim. Then there's Beasley, and it's Love in at the power forward position.
Well, guys, the Timberwolves are looking to establish more of a home court advantage. I mean, last season, they narrowly missed having the worst record at home in the NBA at just 12 wins and 29 losses.
Tip-off goes to Minnesota. Johnson outside. There's the dish to Milicic. Love outside. Dudley against Johnson. Money shot. Gets it to go. Johnson's got the opening basket of the game for the Timberwolves. What we just talked about the Timberwolves at home, 12 and 29. That was actually their best performance at home in the last 3 seasons.
Wow.
Steve?
You could forgive these Minnesota fans for being a little frustrated. And they are in the bottom 10 in attendance. But it could be a lot worse. I mean, this team's record has been horrible the last few years. Let's hope that this club can get back on the right track and get their fans back in the building.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, I had a chance to catch up with the Minnesota Timberwolves head coach. He told me that he's hoping to see the other guys frequently bring the ball into the lane against them, saying, quote, "We'll be better off when they try to get it in tight because we have our great shot blockers. They're not going to have any easy looks in the middle." Kevin?
Terrific, Doris. Thanks. Clark, what's your take on that?
I like the mindset they're coming in right now. I think it's the right mindset, a strong defensive effort from them today. I mean, I think it's essential.
Steve?
Well, no question. If they can have success defensively, they're going to create some offensive opportunities for themselves in transition.
And that one is good by Beasley.
You know, when there's little or no D on this guy and he's headed to the rim, just chalk it up and go on.
Dudley against Johnson. Now, here's Nash. Grant Hill on the wing. 6 to shoot. Gortat over Milicic. Again, Phoenix.
Boy, they are locked and loaded early. 3 for 3.
On defense, the Suns. 4-point game. Hill against Beasley. Beasley left side. Here's Johnson. Makes the most of the high percentage shot.
Got 3 out of 4 from the floor, so a good start for this club.
The Suns leading.
You know, Michael Beasley basically was given away by the Miami Heat for a second-round pick and some cap space. Pretty surprising. Former number 2 overall pick. He's an outstanding scorer.
Shot clock at 6. Dudley the pass to Fry. Takes the 3. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Clark, you're talking about Michael Beasley. They traded him away so they could create space to sign Mike Miller. Steve, do you think they'll come to regret that decision?
No, I think Miami is perfectly happy with where they are going into the future. You know, remember, they traded him away to create more cap space, and that was one of the reasons they were able to get LeBron and Chris Bosh. So who knew what was going to eventually become of him? He had a great season with Minnesota, so it looks like he's going to be a very productive player during his career.
Ridnow is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. Minnesota making some changes. Pekovic comes in for Darko Milicic. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Luke Ridnow. Then for the Suns, Lopez comes in for Gortat. And it's Childress in for Grant Hill. There's 1:26 left to play in the first quarter. And Fry kicks to Dudley. Clock at 6. And it's Johnson picking him up. Baseline jumper. And the jumper is good. Dudley's got 5 points so far. Here is Rubio.
Well, the Suns missed the playoffs a year ago, and there's a lot of speculation about whether they will begin a rebuilding process. Steve Nash obviously getting up there in years. So the question for Phoenix, do they trade him? Do they keep him? Do they still try to build around him? One thing's for sure, they need an infusion of young talent.
Shot clock at 2. The fadeaway. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket. 41 seconds left to play here in the first. All good questions to look for answers for, Steve. Certainly the Suns need more young talent. This is a team that was selling first-round picks only a few short seasons ago, Clark.
And, Kevin, that's rarely a good idea. I mean, even on a stacked veteran team like the Suns were, you look at players like Luol Deng, Rajon Rondo. I mean, those players selected with some of the picks the Suns sold away. Sometimes those moves can come back to make you squirm a little bit.
Yes. Puts it up. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
Yeah, they are just lighting them up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
Here's Nash, and the Suns tack on 2 more. He gets it up. Tie game in Minnesota. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Here is Carter. And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, guys, with the Phoenix Suns losing ground in the West, some expected the Suns to trade Steve Nash and rebuild. But Alvin Gentry said, I see the level he's playing at, and I don't know why we would trade him. I don't see why you would want to bottom out and spend the next 5 years trying to get good again. Nash said, I'm committed to doing my job. I'm committed to this franchise and the fans. Maybe I'm old school, but I signed a contract to play here, and I want to honor it. Guys, we'll see if they can turn it around.
It'll be interesting to see. Thanks, Doris.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. I mean, they want to keep Nash around. He's the face of the franchise. But, you know, they're really stuck in that middle, that no man's land, where they're just good enough to maybe make the playoffs, but not bad enough to get a really high draft pick.
You know, he's a rarity in the NBA, guys. A big man who can launch it from deep.
Kind of a strange season for Aaron Brooks last year, guys. He was unhappy when Houston didn't give him a contract extension, so the Rockets eventually traded him to Phoenix for Goran Dragic.
6 on the shot clock. And here's Rubio over Brooks. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
You know, Steve, when you talk about Aaron Brooks, and every point you made is a good one, it wasn't really the best of fits for him. And I think here in Phoenix, it has been a nice fit. He's got speed and shooting ability, and he can definitely play an up-tempo game, and that's Phoenix's style.
And the rejection by Milicic. The Timberwolves trail. Love outside. Love right side. Ellington defended by Carter. Here's Webster, defended by Childress. They get it again, and the rejection by Gortat. And Phoenix has possession. Carter. Oh, and he can't cap off the break.
Tell you what, the defender made a nice recovery there. It looked like he was beaten, but he still managed to challenge the shot.
Well, the Timberwolves were one of the worst teams in the NBA last year, and playing in that Western Conference is tough. They went just 7-45 against conference foes.
Some changes for Minnesota. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Love. Johnson comes in for Wayne Ellington. And Luke Rittenauer subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And then for Phoenix, Robin Lopez is checked in for Gortat. Warwick comes in for Channing Frye. And it's Hill in for Childress. Well, for a team like that, Steve, struggling like the Wolves did last season, the Western Conference, not exactly a forgiving place. Clark, that's just amazing. Just 7 wins with 45 losses within their conference.
Yeah, and you've got to start looking at yourself as a player. I mean, you can't make excuses. Everybody on the team has to certainly try to get better. You do look at the talent level and see where you can improve that. Sometimes losing can create friction and finger pointing, but the only way to get better is to hold yourself accountable and take responsibility.
Brooks misses. Timberwolves trail by 4. Here is Rittenauer. Backing down is Milicic. Fader on the way. That's good.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
Yeah, jump shot really serving these guys pretty well.
Brooks with it. Puts up a 3. Again, the miss by Brooks. Here's Milicic. Here's Johnson. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Carter dishes to Brooks. Lopez. From deep. And there is Grant Hill on the assist from Lopez. 6 points for Hill. So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
Well, last season, the Suns' road record dipped well below 500, 17-24. That's one of the reasons they were on the outside looking in when it came to playoff time.
And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Pekovic checks in for Milicic. Beasley comes in for Martell Webster. And Ellington is subbed in for Wesley Johnson. Then for the Suns, Gortat's checked in for Lopez. Dudley comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Nash in for Aaron Brooks. Timberwolves trailed by 5. Steve, that's your old team, the Suns. They could put on a show, certainly. They always have with Nash. But Clark, they couldn't get enough wins on the road, 17-24, as Steve just said.
Yeah, well, that may have been part of it, too. I mean, those high-scoring games tend to get the crowd engaged, and that gives the home team life. I mean, when you're an up-and-down team, you're giving the other team possessions as well. And when you're not really strong defensively, then that creates opportunity.
Boom! And nobody getting in the way.
Not at all. Major throwdown there. Great lob, great catch. Perfect execution on the alley-oop.
And not just with any old finish either. The big stuff.
Yeah, little something for everybody, Kevin.
Now Rittenauer. Here is Ellington. Beasley outside. Grant Hill covering. Over Hill, and again, Michael Beasley. Beasley's got 12 points in the game.
That's 10 straight points now coming in that mid-range jump shot area, guys.
Yeah, it is, and they're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that defense to get those shots off, and I think that's very good discipline they're showing us here.
Here's Nash, and he knocks it down.
Ooh-wee, Kevin. That was a big shot to extend their lead and send them into halftime with momentum.
Suns lead by 5.
Time now for the HP halftime report this Tuesday. Let's get right into it. The Suns are off to a good start. The three-point shooting, ridiculous. They're knocking down everything. Grant Hill makes the most of his minutes. Also, Jared Dudley, good work from him so far. And no shortage of desire from the Timberwolves side of things. They're making it look effortless offensively, scoring at will. An all-round great effort by Michael Beasley. He's carrying the team, doing everything he can to put them over the top. Strong showing so far by these two in the action today, leading their team in points in the first half. Thanks for tuning in here. Now we go back there. Kevin Harlan and the 2K Sports crew to start the third quarter.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. Here's Nash. It's a 5-point game.
Well, the Timberwolves are hoping that they've found some answers at the point guard position. The veteran Luke Ridnour really played a steady role for them a year ago, but Johnny Flynn, their top draft pick in 2009, missed almost 30 games and really struggled on the court.
And that one's good. Nash has got the first basket of the third quarter for the Suns. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, one of the things the Minnesota Timberwolves are focused on is adding shooters to open up the floor. It's a theme that you've seen develop throughout the course of the NBA. As Kurt Rambis said, you have to have three-point threats in the modern NBA. Superstar Kevin Love, we found out that if you don't have shooters, teams can just clog the lane on you. Our three-point shooting has changed our whole identity. With a rebounder like Love, it helps to have perimeter scores. Guys?
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
Funny thing about Kevin Love, I mean, he became one of those three-point threats.
Yeah, that has become a big part of his game now.
For the Timberwolves, the answer to their playmaking needs, a point guard, Steve and Clark, may have arrived in the form of rookie Ricky Rubio, joining the team from Spain.
Boy, there's got to be a relief, Kevin, for the Minnesota fans to see the former number 5 pick in the 2009 draft finally in uniform for the Timberwolves. Scoring is still a question mark for him, but his passing, court vision, and flair, all of that is unquestioned.
And that one falls for Nash.
You know, guys, you think back to a team like the Suns. They had a terrific shot at winning the championship just a few short seasons ago, and it doesn't seem like they're in real contention right now going forward.
Pekovic checks in for the Timberwolves. And so Nash nails both of them. We're talking about the Suns' fall from contention, some of it age, but Steve, a number of tough breaks and maybe a few self-inflicted wounds along the way.
Well, Steve Nash is getting older, still was a very productive player a season ago. I think that the biggest difference, though, for Phoenix was not having Amari Stoudemire, who left as a free agent for New York. So the talent base went down, and now Phoenix is faced with some question marks as they look to the future. They're going to have to make some changes eventually and kind of reload to get back to that championship-style level.
Suns lead by 3. And first time out of the game called for Phoenix. Beasley with the steal.
Well, he's showing off his defensive instincts by making plays just like that.
Ridnour passes to Pekovic. Fades back, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Not a lot going wrong for them on offense in the early part of the third. I mean, that's 3 makes on 4 tries now.
For 3, Fry, and that one's good. Fry's got 6.
Kevin, I find this really interesting. Channing Frye, for his first 4 seasons in the league, rarely looked at the three-pointer. But since joining the Suns 2 seasons ago, it's really the best part of his game now.
And the Timberwolves call time here. And for Channing Frye, actually the only big man with a career three-point percentage, Steve, of 40% or more.
That outside shot is such a great weapon for Fry, and particularly for Phoenix, the way they like to spread you out offensively.
Here's Beasley. He's got 15. Now, here's Ridnour. Love outside. Shot clock at 6. Backing down is Beasley. Leans inside. It's blocked. Suns lean by 4. And here they come. Fry, good. Fry's got 5 points now this quarter.
That's why you push the ball. You score before the defense has a chance to set up.
Exactly. They had the defense on its heels that time.
Love with the screen on Nash. And Love backs in. And stolen by Nash. And here we go. And Fry kicks it up. Blocked. Here comes Luke Ridnour. Guarded by Fry. Ridnour dishes to Love. Clock at 6. And here is Ridnour. Hands it from downtown. Ridnour's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, another uncontested 3 there. They got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open threes.
Well, in the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open three-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up 1, but you start giving three-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
And here's Fry from the arc, and the shot is good. Fry's got 11 points.
They strike right back with a 3 of their own.
Steve, that's a great way to respond after giving up the long ball.
And Pekovic backs down, deflects the pass. Ridnour kicks to Beasley. Gortat covering from the baseline. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
You know, he's definitely a catalyst for their offense, guys. I mean, he is so talented. He really causes problems for the other team's defense.
Outside Hill. Covered by Beasley. The 10-footer, and the Suns tack on 2 more. Eight seconds left here in the third quarter. Beasley right side. Good. And the assist goes to Ridnour. 19 points for Beasley. The points coming in bunches as we wrap up the third quarter. It's been a good one. You have to like what we're seeing from Channing Frye.
Normally, he's not the guy at the top of the list who you'd think of when it comes to scoring, but he's had a great game here.
Yeah, you know what? He's kind of like found money, you know, when you sometimes stumble upon a few bucks in your pocket, you don't know where it came from, but you're glad to have it.
And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. let's check in with Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Hi, guys. Well, it was the stretch by the Suns that garners the Sprite Spark today. The changing point in this game was when they got hot in the third quarter and opened things up. They'll look to keep that level of play as we head into the final period.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that run, Clark, really changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah, it sure did. I thought it stirred something up in them that got them on a good run.
Yeah, got the ball rolling for them, and they were able to keep it going from there, guys.
Rubio, the pass to Beasley. And Love backs in. Lets it go. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
And the hot shooting continues, guys.
Yeah, it sure does, Steve. They've mothballed the defense, though. It's all about offense today.
Nash outside. There's the feed to Dudley. 6 to shoot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, Jared Dudley's never been the most athletic player on the floor, but he's got a sense of humor about it. The 6'7" swingman made a pledge to get at least 10 dunks last season and finally reached his mark with 3 games left.
A free throw drops for Dudley. Clark, he brought up Jared Dudley. He has become a fan favorite in Phoenix, not just for his sense of humor, but Steve, also for his consistent work ethic.
Yeah, Suns gave him a 5-year extension last season, and part of that was his all-around play, a high-energy player, a good three-point shooter, and part of it was just what he means to the team, chemistry-wise, a great teammate.
Rubio with it, and Love backs in. Now Rubio. Open look, and he hits the jumper for 2.
Both of these teams have really stepped it up offensively.
You know what, Steve? They haven't missed a chance, and I think both teams really know what's at stake on every possession here.
And the Suns call time here. Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, Kevin. Alvin Gentry had some words for his team over that last break. He told his guys, listen, this is going to be a fantastic win, but if we let it get away from us, it'll be just as bad a loss. Let's make sure that doesn't happen, okay? I'm sure they were listening, Kevin.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves, Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Love. Webster comes in for Michael Beasley, and Wesley Johnson has subbed for Wayne Ellington. Johnson can't get it to go.
Man, that's too bad. Easy shot there, and you got to knock that one down.
Well, that's a concentration cramp right there. I mean, just lost focus. Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over it.
Shot left block. Suns lead by 4. Here's Nash. Here's Warwick. Now here's Nash. With the clock winding down, gets it to go. Now it's a 6-point Suns lead.
Well, there's a big spread between these teams and how many of their baskets have been assisted on.
But you have to give credit to them for how well they've been able to find the open man with that extra pass.
Shot from the wing, and the basket by Webster. Here's Nash. Here's Warwick. Back to Nash. Five to shoot. Here's Warwick, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two. Wesley Johnson picks one up.
Great awareness by fouling on that layup. Make him earn 2 points.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, send him to the line instead of giving up an easy two.
The first one falls. Minnesota making some changes. Kevin Love's checked in for Milicic. Beasley comes in for Wesley Johnson. And Luke Rittenauer subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Then for the Suns, Channing Frye's checked in for Gortat. Hill comes in for Josh Childress. And it's Brooks in for Steve Nash. He's perfect from the line this time.
They're really doing a good job working hard to get inside and draw contact, a little more so than they did in the first half.
Well, to keep a lead like this, they should continue to attack the paint like they have been. Don't settle for jump shots. Find your way to the free throw line.
Love dishes to Beasley. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Well, you love the way he searched for good shots all game long.
And the Suns call time. They're up by 4. 1:51 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Minnesota making some changes. Darko Milicic, he's checked in for Sullivan. And Wesley Johnson has subbed for Webster. Phoenix also making some changes. Gortat's checked in for Ward. Dudley comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Nash in for Aaron Brooks. Nash against Rittenauer, and here's Dudley for 3. There it is, it's Nash picking up the assists. Nash has got 4 assists in the game. Minnesota calls timeout. They're losing by 7. 1:41 left in the fourth. Here is Love. He kicks to Rittenauer. Defended by Nash. It's Beasley on the wing. Lots of room. That's good. And it's Rittenauer picking up the assist.
He's been producing all night. It's up to the rest of his team to start kicking in a little bit.
Here's Nash. The pass to Gortat. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, plenty of contact there. Easy call.
Steve, when you miss a shot like that, you know he got hit on the way up.
Sinks the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Them both, and it's a 7-point ball game.
Big foul there. He hits the clutch free throws and adds their lead.
And here is Rittenauer. Defended by Nash. 6 on the shot clock. From 17 feet out. It's good. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
He will eat you alive unless you play him tougher defensively.
Less than 1 minute left. Nash right side. Over Rittenauer. Nash's shot is in. And the Suns lead by 7.
And they add to this lead, trying to close this game out.
I think it would take a lot of luck and maybe then some. I mean, might be time to pack this thing in.
Nash against Rittenauer. Now Love inside. That's good.
took the contact, knocked it down, and now he'll get a free throw.
Boy, that's a nice finish right there. I mean, he didn't give up on that shot even though he got hit.
And no problem at the line here for the three-point play. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Good foul there. They've got to lengthen this game and stop the clock here.
All you can really do here is hope they give you a chance to even it up.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5. Perfect from the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And that'll do it, Kevin. Those last free throws were the icing on the cake.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're behind by 6. 12 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
Well, there's a little bit of time here to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Very much so. Either way you cut it, they're going to need a pair of threes and some help at the other end as well.
Here's Ridnour. Here's Beasley. It's good. So it's the Suns taking the W in a close one. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Beasley.